Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good night, and welcome to Jazzy Conversations. I'm Teef.
And I'm Gigi.
And we're excited to be here.
Listen, thanks for checking in.
Welcome to Jazzy Conversations. I'm Teef.
I'm Gigi.
Let's have some fun. G, today's show, I'm very excited.
I know you are.
I am. This is my boy right here.
I know.
This is my friend.
The long-awaited.
Oh, yeah. I've been dying to have him on. Such a great guy. We've been friends since 6th grade.
Yeah, I've been dying to meet him. I've heard so much.
His career has totally taken off, seriously.
Yeah.
It's just amazing how everyone has their own story, and he has an amazing story.
You know? I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, so let's talk about it. But before we do, his name is Pook Diesel, and before we bring him on, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna play our game.
We like to have fun.
All right. So you guys play with us, but before we move forward, please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Please share, and please give us the thumbs up. All right.
Come on.
We appreciate
Do
you.
those 3 things.
Absolutely. All right. Here we go. 5 questions for G. Here's the first one. Play along. You guys finish the lyric. Can't get her out of my head. Kiss her, miss her, love her.
Wrong move, you dead.
Wow, you got that. A lot of people can't get that last one.
I grew
Oh
up
my
on that.
goodness. That is okay, G. Okay, I got you. All right, here we go. All right, here we go.
You're lucky you didn't get me to do the dance, but go ahead, next question.
Janet Jackson recorded The Best Things in Life for free with what other artist? Janet Jackson recorded
Luther Vandross.
Luther. Oh, she's too.
Yes,
she's
come on.
She's kind of hot right now. She's
Listen,
pulling up. Gee, you pulling up. Oh my goodness.
I just feel it. I'm in the zone. I'm in the zone.
Okay.
I'm in the zone. Let's go.
Here
Keep it coming.
All right. What Mary J. Blige song was in the film Waiting to Exhale?
I'm not gonna cry.
What? Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I'm not. Gee, you killing me right now. You three and 0. She's 3 and 0. She's 3 and 0.
This is knowledge.
Oh my
knowledge.
goodness. Wow.
Yes, I'm not gonna cry.
Okay. What was the hit song that Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men sung together in 1995?
I know this too, and let me get it in my head. Don't listen. I saved time on the other ones. It's about somebody dying. I can almost hear it. No, I'm gonna. Y'all don't understand the pressure. I know this song.
5, 4, 3, 2, and One Sweet Day.
Oh,
One Sweet
I know the song.
Day.
I could hear it. I couldn't get to the chorus.
All right.
Oh,
Here we go.
whatever.
Finish the lyric.
Okay.
For question number 5. I get so weak in the knees, I can hardly speak. I lose all control.
And something takes over me in the days, and it's so amazing.
All right. She wants to show off. She was on
You were
fire
showing off
today.
this little
Listen,
thing.
she went 4 for 5.
And I knew that
Oh
that
my
Mariah
God.
Carey
Gee,
won.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
Did you have fun?
Of course I did.
You just wish you were 5
You know I
for
wanted.
5.
You know I want the 5 for 5, and I had it. It was on the tip of my tongue.
Oh, you did an amazing job.
Thank
Listen,
you.
we're about to bring my boy on. Very
Can't wait.
excited. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are ready. You ready? Here we go. Welcome to Jazzy Conversations. I'm Teef.
And I'm Gigi.
And G, I'm super excited, ladies and
know.
gentlemen. Please look on the screen. I have a friend of ours from the West Coast, originally from, he's going to tell us a story, born and raised right here out of New Haven, Connecticut. Pook Diesel, welcome to the show.
What's up? That's my term. We start off with.
So you finally get a chance to meet my partner.
Listen, I'm just want to tell you, I feel like I know you. I've been hearing about you week after week after week. Now I get to hear it in your own words, because this brother loves you. Listen,
Well, thank you. The love is reciprocated.
I love
Lovely
it.
to meet you, Gigi. I feel like I know you too because I've been watching the episodes and I just seen you guys grow. I just want to say off the bat, salute to both of you. Jazzy Conversations is just really dope. I remember when T first told me about it, I said, look, whatever you need from me, whatever help, I'm in full support. If contacts, West Coast, actors, anybody that you need, let me know, man. And that's what we do, man. Elm City, stand up.
There you
City,
go, boy. I
stand
appreciate
up.
you.
Oh,
and
my
every
goodness.
single thing he just said, I want everyone to see that. Loyalty. Remember we talked about
You
on the show
did,
loyalty.
absolutely.
When I told him what I wanted to do from the beginning, before we even started to recruit, he said, Teef, whatever you need, I got you.
And he
Exact
told
words
me,
and quotes.
he told me, I've been hearing your name since he introduced the idea to me. I've been
Absolutely.
hearing Poop Diesel. I mean, thank you. Thank you for all the support. Yes.
Well, no, thank you guys, for just doing what you're doing. It's important. Out here on the West Coast, you don't really hear a lot of representation coming from, New Haven, Connecticut. So, and we'll get into my story a little bit, but, coming out here to the West Coast, it was culture shock. And so when you hear people from the East, you kind of like, okay. But it's another thing when you hear from people from New Haven, it's like there's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So Teef, I've been knowing him since the 6th grade. That's my day one. And so whatever he was doing, I'm like in full support. And just love what you're doing, man. The channel is growing. I'm seeing consistent numbers.
Yes.
Y'all putting numbers on the board over there. I see you, Teef. I see you, Gigi.
We
Thank
bringing
you.
people like you on. So
That's
what we
right.
want to do, because we have a lot of people around. Gigi went to Temple. I went to Findlay in Ohio, San Diego State. And we have a lot of, believe it or not, we have a lot of support from the West Coast because we bring on a lot of people from the West Coast watching. So what we want to do for people, even back here, because we know the story, but we're going to get into it. You left after the 7th grade. So the people that don't know who you are, I want them to know your story from the beginning all the way up to now. We're going to talk about Rhapsody Hollywood, what he's wearing right now.
I want to hear
And
the whole
it's big.
story.
And we want everyone to subscribe
the
to
whole
that channel
rap
right
sheet.
there. All right. So can we go back to the beginning?
Let's start from the beginning.
All right. So tell us your story from the beginning.
All right. Well, first off, it's all about marketing. In this business, you'll learn that you got to promote what you're doing because a lot of people don't know. This may be the only time that they might get a chance to hear about whatever your project is.
Marketing.
And so that's why, I always take that opportunity to make sure we know. But as you mentioned, man, my whole family is from Long Island, New York. My dad was a Panther, so we come from a real community-based, activism kind of background. I don't even know if you know all of this, Teef, but my dad just decided with his life, he wasn't going to pursue his first love, which was music, and he bypassed that because he felt like our people needed him. So growing up, and doing things in the 70s, he was very active with the Panthers. He tells some great stories. And my dad, a fundamental part of my upbringing. And can you hear me?
There you go. You broke up.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you now.
Okay, so just talking about Pops set the foundation for activism being a real big part of what I do, So growing up, he moved out of New York, Long Island, New York, and moved to New Haven. And that was kind of like what was, forced, the government, they were forcing them out. And so when we came to New Haven, it was like, Brookside Apartments, what I'm saying? The projects, man, like, we was like real to real with it. And so you grew up, you learned community, you learned what was important. My dad ran a number of different like group homes. So our family was the extended community of New Haven. And as you know, back in the 80s, it started getting crazy, bro. Like that's when the drugs kind of really moved in heavy, the federal task force moved in. And my dad made a decision. He was like, you know what? We're going to move to the West Coast, and actually try to make sure we move towards allowing ourselves the opportunity to have a better future. So that's how I looked at it. We came out to San Diego actually first. And, basketball and hip hop were two things that really kind of gave me my foundation and allowed me to make that transition. So I remember doing beatboxing and early on just doing little raps. And everybody was kind of like gravitating towards that. And then also, basketball. So in high school, I played ball. We had a good team. We went, what they have out here is the CIF kind of championships. We went to the sports arena. I hit 5 3-pointers in there, got it all. And so, it was a real thing. So I went on to college out here in San Diego, then grad school, did a lot of different things, moved around, but music was always one of my first loves. And I formed a rap group at college called the BMCs. We were heavily influenced by the likes of Boot Camp Click and, folks like, Most Def, those are all people that, we kind of rock with. So our group was called the BMCs, Blunted Microphone Creations. And, that was something that was really kind of allowed me to get my feet into the industry. So there was a few different things. There's a group called POD, which is a big rock group out of San Diego. And they had rock rap, but they wanted to sign hip hop artists. So they signed 3 artists. We were one of the groups. They were signed to Atlantic Records. They had a sub label. We did tours with them. I went all up and down the East Coast, all up and down the West Coast. We, started to get an understanding of the industry. So when that happened, it was like, okay, thinking that the rap stuff was really going to take off. And then another friend of mine, he worked at BET. And so he kind of had an opportunity. He worked at the Source first. Shout out to P. Frank Williams. And by doing that, he kind of got my feet wet in television production, because hip hop was one thing, but it's a, it's a tough game. It's a tough game in there. So that's a little bit of my story, man. And, if you got more questions, we could dive into more.
No, but I wanted you to keep going because your story is amazing. I know that you have you've been doing rap for some time, and you have albums out. You've networked with different people in the rap business. I know you're a producer. We're going to get into that. You've done many different documentaries and TV shows. You're actually writing movies right now. And then you're wearing what you do every day, Rhapsody Hollywood. So we're going to get into that.
You
want to get into that?
I want to listen. I want take us on the journey.
Yeah, so don't stop for us because you felt like you had to stop.
Sometimes I feel like I be talking too much.
No, you were
good.
Hear it. I want to go from that transition from rap to producing, because I know the things you do, and also we want to end with Rhapsody Hollywood, because when you said San Diego State, I wanted to remind people this is Erica Ringer's friend. They met at San Diego State.
That's right. She did
That's
mention.
her boy.
That's right. Erica Ringer. We had her on, and she talked about you
because of Pook. Yeah.
So, I would just say, even just going to San Diego State, right? Going to college allowed me to open up my networks. And so people like Erica, another, friend of mine, Williams, director Darren Grant, Deion Taylor, director Deion Taylor. These people who have done a number of, big movies, big projects that you Google their names, you'll see all the stuff that they've done. These are the relationships that I started to build in college. And then they all went in to do things in the field of television and film. So for me and my group, doing the rap thing, I mean, it really started back in the Elm City where, it was trying to beatbox and break dancing and all of that. So by the time you come out here and you start to grow, and I started doing little mixtapes and everything, got my name up. People started to know me for doing the rap. I really thought rap was going to be the end all be all. And what happened was, you start getting exposed to other things. And so once I got exposed to television production, I started to work for BET. I worked my way up, started from a production assistant, just carrying stuff on set, digitizing tapes, doing all the things that you got to do, transcribing interviews, all that kind of stuff. It opened my eyes up. And then what I started to see with working at BET was that, okay, if you produce the episodes, or even if you're the executive producer of your own projects, that's where the real power lies. And so for me, that was like, okay, a clear sign that even though I was doing the music stuff and we went through our journey with, Atlantic Records and all that kind of stuff, it didn't work out the way I wanted it to for the music, because right after POD, the group's second album, it didn't do as well as the first. They had that big song, Here Comes the Boom, Here Comes the Boom. And what you start to realize is that when you're hot, you get all the doors open for you. As soon as their second album didn't do as well, they shut down the label, they shut down their sub label. And so we got cut as a group, which left us to say, okay, what other moves are you going to do? What are you going to do at that point in time? So that's when I really started to look at television production. I produced on shows like American Gangster. That was one of the shows where we did, profiles on different, notorious gangsters. So I began to, producing is really like setting up the interviews, doing the interviews, curating what are we going to talk about, making sure you do an outline for each episode. So those were an hour-long episode. You have to really dig in and be able to tell the story the right way, you know, from multiple standpoints. We always talk about telling a fair and balanced story. So you don't want it to just be from the prosecution side or from the police side. You also want to tell the narrative of the person, what they went through, why those conditions created them to start to go into that field of doing the crimes. So you got to be fair and balanced when you start to tell those stories. So, you know, producing became, you know, my 9 to 5. And so I went on to produce shows like Who Killed Tupac, which is an A&E 6-part series where I worked with civil rights attorney Ben Crump. We all know him from Trayvon Martin and representing so many of our African Americans that have been wronged in the judicial system and by the police. He's been our, you know, he's like our new Reverend Al Sharpton. You know, he's that spokesperson. So working with him, I developed relationships. Once again, really important to have the type of attitude and the type of camaraderie where, you know, you're making those relationships with people. So I produced on that. I did the Kim Kardashian, the Justice Project. Everybody knows Kim for doing the, you know, all of the, you know, glamorous stuff, but she also went to law school and she also wanted to look at what are some people that are incarcerated that we can help to get out of prison. So that was my job, to sift through all these letters that she got as a producer and find 4 stories of people that we could be able to make a difference in their life. And also, does it make for good television? So you got to go through all these different stuff, see if there's people that can tell their story. There's family members. Are there, you know, the prosecution attorney? Are there, you know, defense people who can help to really tell the story? I was proud to say that 3 out of the 4 people that we chose, we actually got them released from prison.
Wow, that's incredible.
Beautiful.
You know, Kim was
through
really,
entertainment, right? Through the avenue of entertainment, you were able to really make some moves in the justice arena.
and that all goes back to my background. You know, like I said, with my pops being real community oriented, when I came to San Diego, we started a youth organization called the San Diego Youth Congress. So I've always been involved in, you know, community activity, trying to help young people to be around policy making. Who are the people who are really making decisions in your area, and how can you influence that? And so I realized my personal background helped me as a producer, because the way that I thought about things is not the way that most producers thought about it. So I bring that level of understanding, you know. And so, like I said, I went to grad school. So I have a master's degree in human services. So, you know, my bachelor's in psychology. I'm a people person. I like to talk to people and understand what's going on underneath the issues. And that helps me as a TV producer, because now I've been doing a lot of true crime. I did a number of different shows for the Oxygen Network where, you know, you got to look at these crimes. You got to understand what's the backstory behind them. You have to create outlines that are going to be interesting to the audience, but it's also going to be fair in how you tell some of those things. And so, you know, I've been doing that for a while. I got a couple series that's out right now. If you guys watch on CNBC and then also on the Oxygen Network, we have a series called Blood and Money, which is under the Law and Order brand. Okay. And it's the first time we've done true crimes. So we looked at a number of different, you know, crimes that's happened from, you know, millionaires who might have, you know, unfortunately, they had some situations with their wives and, you know, they shot a judge and killed the wife. We got to tell that story. Right. So Blood and Money is one of those with Dick Wolf. You know, he's one of the established people, executive producers. And then we also got in August coming up, Hip Hop Treasures. That's going to be on A&E, which is about finding hip hop memorabilia and then taking that hip hop memorabilia and bringing it to the Universal Hip Hop Museum in New York, in the Bronx. So, you know, just been working, staying busy is as a producer, but then still having my love for music, because we still release music. I got back with my group, the BMCs, after all these years, and we still got music now that's on all platforms. So if you're interested, y'all should just definitely go look up the BMC 'S and, you know, staying active. You know what I mean?
You are definitely staying active. That is for
True
sure.
True Renaissance man.
Yes.
Right, I mean, has his hands in everything.
In a little bit of everything.
Oh, very
I
talented.
want to ask about the producing, Pook, because you talked a lot about, I mean, all the stuff that you're doing is in a particular lane, but what are the credentials that brought you to that work? How did you become a producer? How did somebody say, yep, we want you.
Good question.
Do this work.
Yeah, that's a great question, because television production, you know, I didn't go to school for that. That wasn't what my background was. And so, you know, shout out to everybody that does go to television and film school, you know, the New York Academy, and, you know, this LA Film School. There's a bunch of different ones, but I didn't go to school for that. Like I said, it was relationships. It was about really being the type of person that, you know, when you meet somebody, you get their card and you follow up. You email them back and you develop those relationships. It's not just going to happen. Nobody's going to do it for you. But because of some of those relationships that I built, I got to shout out my man, P. Frank Williams, a super producer. He's gone on to do so many different things, but he was at the Source magazine at the time. I'm just trying to shop my music to him. And then he tells me, well, you know, look, I'm actually starting to move into television. He gave me my first break at BET to come on and to start working with him. And so that's how it happens oftentimes too, is somebody gives you that break. And when they give you that break, you got to run with it.
Got to be ready.
And you got to take it, and you got to, you know, and then, you know, your reputation's on the line. And so with that, you know, you want everything you do to stand behind it and be quality work. And that's how I just started. You know, like I said, I used to just grab cords and do whatever we had to do on set, you know, hold the lights, you know, make sure I you know, clear the way for the interviewees and set up shots for them, whatever we had to do.
No
and
job
then
too small.
That's right.
You progress, you progress. And the next thing I know, I'm associate producer. Next thing I know, I'm going to the next level, producing, working for a number of different production companies, understanding the business. Like, that's really, really important, is understanding the business. And so those are things that really kind of helped me in my production and producing career. And, you know, I've been blessed, man. All praises due to God, because that's really, without him, you know, you're going to lose your mind in this business. Hollywood does get crazy. There are all the stories that you hear about some of the wildness that happens. So, you know, you just got to be able to navigate through those things. When I worked for BET, some of my most precious moments were interviewing Whitney Houston. Actually, it was like 1 year to the day of her death. I got a chance to interview her, sit with her like this and talk with her one-on-one. She started singing to me. And, you know, it was just an amazing opportunity to know that here I am as a producer, I'm getting to work with people like this, you know, and these moments stay with you. I interviewed Denzel Washington and talking with him, very cool brother, like, you know, New York. So he had that vibe, but not really Hollywood or any of those things. And what you give off comes back to you. Yeah. And so I also, with the BET Awards, we had this awards show called the Hip Hop, or the BET Honors, where we got a chance to honor people who weren't necessarily celebrities, but were, for Black people, very prominent. So there was a gentleman by the name of Dr. Keith Black, who is a neurosurgeon for Cedars-Sinai, one of the biggest hospitals in Beverly Hills. And he ran that whole department. I got a chance to basically create a mini movie for the award that he was being honored. And you tell his story, and then you're able to present that at one of these prestigious awards. We were in DC, and when we presented it, it was a room full of accomplished African Americans, and it made me feel like what I was doing had meaning to it. And I remember I actually shed a little tear because of the overwhelming feelings that you had of knowing that this is something that I really put my foot into, I really worked hard to do, and then to have your people kind of give you that validation. It was dope. So it kind of let me know I could do whatever I really wanted to do.
I love it. I have to say, what's really dope, it's amazing. Everything that you just listed down, you were like this. All of those things that you said, you was like, I got to do this. I got to do that. And it is that spirit that's like coming off of you, this idea that this is an opportunity. Everything is an opportunity. Everything it seems to be how you're talking about it as a blessing. Like, these are chances, opportunities. So that is just so beautiful. I know the people listening will pick up on that incredible energy of just gratitude that's coming off of you.
Always his energy.
Yeah.
So
Look, that energy, that's what you, T, you know, as we've been building forever, bro. That's just how it is. You're the same way. You're the same way. So, you know, I just came out to the West, and you know, you went out to Ohio, and you know, and everything else. So, you know, that's how we do.
I appreciate it. So, Pook, Rhapsody Hollywood. I want to get into
tell
that.
us about
now,
that.
That's everyone that's watching, please, after this interview, go on your phone, Google Rhapsody Hollywood, go to YouTube, check it out. this guy has interviewed. I seen the interview with Denzel Washington, and you were smooth with it too, bro. You sent me that a while back. Real smooth with it. Great interview. Tell us about how did you get it started, Rhapsody Hollywood? Because you were actually, before we move forward, on today, I think you just dropped the episode where they just unveiled the Tupac statue down in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So Rhapsody Hollywood. What I realized is in the business, you got to keep excelling, right? So to work for production companies, to be a producer, to help them put on some of these huge shows, these big multi-million-dollar budgets, from BET Awards to, all the shows, Kim Kardashian, all that stuff. You got to be entrepreneurial. And so to me, it was what's next. And to me, what's next was creating my own content, my own channel, something that I owned. Like I said, what I saw with executive producers, those were the people who at BET, when the Tyler Perrys came through, those are the people who really got it, to another level. And that's what I wanted to do. So I started Rhapsody Hollywood as a YouTube channel, and then got the website, and then just started to create content. Because of all the relationships that I had in the business, I started to do red carpets. I started to do interviews with celebrities. I started to, really just look at what are content that I can create. What are some of the content? I did a beat battle show during the COVID time. So what could we do? I looked at music producers and created a show. I worked at The Voice for like 6 seasons. So I watched everything I did. I watched and took notes. What was the aesthetics? How did they, do their talent competition? To reproduce that. So Rhapsody Hollywood was a brainchild. I always talk to my homeboys and get ideas from them and make it a group thing. And that's what happened. I started that 8 years ago. It's been booming since. Really proud that, everybody's kind of just helped to blow the channel up, and just kind of creating, man, and keep going.
Yeah,
Man, you were just at the BET Awards and backstage, and you interviewed some amazing people. I mean, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, you talked about the Tupac. So I was there for the Tupac Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony where he's got inducted. So for me, with Rhapsody Hollywood, you got all these events that are taking place out here. Somebody needs to have a presence. I realized that you bring your camera, you bring your questions, you bring all your experience. What you capture, you can bring back to your audience and be able to put your spin on it. So any of those people that are out there right now, pick up your camera. If you got ambitions of trying to do this stuff, it doesn't matter. Just do you. Do what you think is your own, take on things, your own spin, and you can create it and you can make it happen. And so that's what I did. There's always events. I went to the BET Awards recently. It's the 50th anniversary of hip hop. So, when you're in the mix like that, it's just about graining the content, bringing it back, editing it up, putting your spin on it, and then getting it out to the masses. And so, that's something I just learned to do almost every day of my life. There's different events that come up, whatever it is, pick up that camera, get out there, get the content, and bring it back to your people.
I love it. Congratulations on the success of Rhapsody Hollywood and just doing it, right? Picking it up and doing it. I love it.
You feel that energy? You feel that energy?
What is coming through the screen?
The guy is great. Listen, he's not lying. When he says he has relationships, every time I bring your name up to many of our guests, I told you this off camera, they all say, Pook, Pook, that's my boy. So that's it.
That's really important though. It's like, your reputation is everything in this business. So, the energy you give off, like I've realized and I've seen it where because of that energy, it's allowed me to, have people vouch for me. People say, hey, no, bring the business to Paul. You should have, so Paul Watson III, that's the government. Pook Diesel is the, the
I
rap
was curious.
thing,
I was curious.
Because that's what Erica said. Remember, Erica?
Yes.
He's Paul Watson
So,
III. The college together.
On the credits, a lot of these shows, you're going to see Paul Watson III, and shout out to my pops for, make sure that I kept the legacy going. But that's what it's all about, is how you interact with people. And so it's just, it's important. It's important. People are going to watch what you do and how you carry yourself. And you'll get work based on that. And that's how I stay afloat, because as a freelance producer, don't think it's all sweet. It gets tough. There's times where, I might have had a great year last year and made the most money. And then this year there's the writer's strike. And so, work is kind of shut down. if you don't plan for that economically, you know, if you're not making smart moves with your money, if you're not having good relationships where people can refer jobs to you, it's tough, man. People tell you all the time how it ain't easy to work out here in Hollywood, and that's the truth. Some people are waiting tables. You know, you're doing whatever you got to do, you know, to make it happen in between, you know, when those big gigs happen. And when they come, it's good and the money is good, but you also got to know that, you know, you're preparing for when it's not so good. So that's just reality if you're trying to get in this business.
That's good. That's wisdom for all sectors. Anybody, take heed.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Right.
great advice.
For sure.
Pook, this has been an amazing interview.
I have like 15 more questions.
No, go with them. Go with them. Please go with them.
I'm so glad you opened the door.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you said that your father, who was a Black Panther, he had been interested in music. How does he feel about you going into the music industry? What are his thoughts on your rap career?
You know what? Shout out to my pops, Paul Watson Jr. He really sacrificed his own ambitions of music. So we grew up, music was a part of our lives. Like we had family talent shows. We had the family that would come together and have our little gatherings, and they'd be playing the drums and singing, Confunction and George Clinton. So music was a big part. You know, we go to Edgewood Park and we would go over there and like have these big, volleyball games and have a lot of fun. So music, we bring out the big speakers and have the park jams and all of that kind of stuff that I remember very heavily. So music was important, but I realized he sacrificed to his love for music to follow our people and to try to make things better for our people. Like he was really thinking that, the condition of civil rights was something that we had to fight for. Mm-hmm. And so where he couldn't do that, he allowed myself to be able to do that because of the sacrifice that he made. So when I started doing music, without even understanding fully where that all came from, it was just intimate. It was just inside of me because of the exposure that he gave. He encouraged that. He encouraged that. He supported me. Even when I would, use some colorful language and stuff, he would still be like, you know what? You my son, go for it. And so he always supported me on that. And so I learned as I went through, you get your bumps and your bruises, but to have that support is really, really key. So, like now I got a son, Paul Watson IV, and he's 6 years old. And he's rapping now. He just naturally saw what his dad does, and he saw how I got down, and he wanted to start rapping. So at 6 years old, he's doing talent shows now, and he's got a hot single that y'all got to check out. It's called Peanut Butter Jelly.
Come on, Paul Watson Jr.
Hey, we keep it age appropriate. He's not trying to do nothing outside his range. It's fun stuff. He's 6 years old. If he don't want to do it, I don't force it. But he does. And so I support that. I help him, show him how to, record, show him how to, write. And so it just kind of goes down the generations. So now you got Paul Watson IV, a.k.a. Little Paulie. And, we just keeping it going. But great question to asking about how my dad supported me. Now look at it. I'm supporting my son.
That's right. That's right.
This is beautiful.
So beautiful.
The energy. Pook, I'm so happy. Listen, I'm honored that you came on the platform.
So am I.
We've been talking about this for a while, and I wanted to set it up to be perfect because, again, you have been, I explained to her, and she knows, you have been so important to this platform right here. From day one, I've been hearing Pook Diesel this and that,
every single episode. You lived up to and beyond, for all the love and respect that you garnered.
Every episode. He'll send me a text. Teef, I just finished watching. Oh my goodness, amazing! He'll tell me what the episode was about. I just appreciate that. Yeah. I sincerely appreciate that you take time out to watch every single episode, and you'll say, "Listen, I'm actually friends with this person, or I did this with this person, or I work with this person," and that means a lot to me, man. So I just want to say, I appreciate that. And I want to have a fun moment right here, too, before we end. Check this out. So he always throws this little bug at me. He says, Teef, I left in the 7th grade, right? And so let's talk about basketball for a little while. If I stayed and Anthony stayed, how good would we have been? Because he knows about our friends Shaman and Terrell, who was the best our senior year. But he says, if me and Anthony stayed, how good would we have been? And it's a lot of people that's going to remember you watching this saying, wow, I remember Paul. Because in middle school, Paul was, oh my goodness. Sheridan. Him and Anthony were really good.
Wow.
And Shaman and Terrell came in the following year right after you left. You remember that, right?
Well, he
Yeah,
was
I
gone.
do it, and just to see what those guys went on to do, it's just great, man.
Washington
I
State,
always
St.
big up
Louis.
all my people, man. Like New Haven is, forever gonna be, a part of me, and I love what y'all are doing for New Haven. Like,
Appreciate that.
just the fact that you are doing what you're doing, coming from where you are, and then you're exposing it to the world. You're growing, way beyond that. The extension of what I'm doing. I'm always in support. Even though I'm out here in LA now, whatever y'all need, let's continue to do it. I can't wait for y'all to come on location, come out here to Hollywood,
Absolutely.
and
Say
do
the
episodes
word.
out
We
here.
coming.
Say the word.
That's what it's
So
all
we
about.
appreciate it.
Man. So
Listen,
definitely big up.
Before we end, Pook, my partner has 3 important questions to ask you.
Do we even have to ask? I'll ask it, right? Just for old time's sake. Top 3 podcasts that you listen to.
Top 3. This is a tough choice, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, but I gotta start off number 1 with Rhapsody Hollywood.
Oh, you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Gotta do it.
You gotta do it. That's fair.
I love it.
Check it out. And then, growing up in New Haven, man, I'm a big Knicks fan, big time Knicks fan. So Knicks Fan TV, is one of my favorite podcasts. I watch it religiously. And then third, let me see.
You better get this right. You only get 3.
What is the
Look
third
around.
one?
Yeah, you wanna see it?
Take a beat.
I got it.
Take a beat, partner. Let's see. All right.
Jazzy Conversations with Teeth and Gigi. Hey, but I'm not just saying that. I watch the show.
Yes, you
I
do.
love it. Y'all grown. Sometimes I'm like, yo, how did they get that person on the show?
I appreciate
Y'all, the guests that you rocking with. I saw the last one with Tara. I know you worked with her in your movie,
Yeah.
Teeth, and I'm in support of all of your acting stuff, everything you're doing.
appreciate
I'm gonna
that.
get you on my next film. I got
Absolutely.
a project coming up for you.
I appreciate that.
I'm developing. I got you. And so, big up, man. Beach Life. Hashtag Beach Life is something I'm working on. I've been developing.
So we want
like
Pook,
I said, I got a few projects coming up.
Don't end. So we want to go on that. Tell us everything so we can put on the screen that you're working
What
on
do you
right
need
now.
people to check out?
Yes.
Okay, this is what I need you to check out. Like I said, on Tuesdays and Saturdays, the show called Blood and Money. That's under the Law and Order brand with executive producer Dick Wolf. It's a true crime series. I've been doing a lot of true crime the last 5 years. That's kind of what's been going on. Used to be reality shows. I did like Casey and JoJo reality show and all that kind of stuff back in the days. Now true crime is really as a producer where you're making your way. And so then Hip Hop Treasures. Hip Hop Treasures is a A&E show that's coming out August 12th. You guys got to stay tuned for that. We deal with all of the legends of hip hop. We get and find their memorabilia. So it could be old records. It could be, LL's Kango. I mean, you got everybody from Salt and Pepper on there to Master P, and we bring it all to Universal Hip Hop Museum.
Nice.
So that's coming out August 12th on A&E. And then I've been developing films. The film, I got hashtag Beach Life. It's going to be a crazy, funny, it's Friday meets Baywatch. And so you guys got to stay tuned for that. I'm developing it now. And it's going to be starring one of our good friends, Teeth. Teeth is going to be in
That's
there.
my boy. I appreciate my boy, Pook Diesel. Pook, we love you, man. Thank you, seriously.
Thank you so
On behalf
much.
of Jazzy Conversations from the Heart, we sincerely thank you for your support,
Yes.
your vision. You've been out there on the West Coast, and he's literally, I give you all the praise, has been guiding this podcast with me and with Gigi to listen, get that West Coast view. So I sincerely thank you in front of the world. So I appreciate that.
Yes.
All right.
Salute, man.
On behalf of Jazzy Conversations, I'm Teef.
And I'm Gigi.
Pook, have a great night. Take care.
Peace.
Peace.
Yes.
Elm City.
That's
Yes.
right, Elm City, my man. That was
Finally, I
you
feel like finally me and Pook.
Felt like you went to school with him, right?
Listen, he's one of those rare types that just sitting with him, I feel connected to him. Like right away, I feel like we can sit and kick it all day.
He was like that in middle school. He's the
Yeah.
same personality. Everyone loved Paul.
He's
back in the
electric,
day.
man. He's like, yeah.
He's a renaissance man. He has his hands a little bit in everything.
Yeah.
He's very talented and very, very well known in the industry. Everyone I talk to.
Everybody
producer,
we've had on
director,
that you've mentioned.
Oh, they'll say, Pook, that's my boy.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone. So great guy. I'm very honored to have him come on because he's been wanting to come on. We've been trying to work it out because of his schedule. But to have him finally on, and I
Beautiful.
know some people back here will be able to say, y'all remember him.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
I
Hey,
love
G, we got another episode. Let's get ready for next week.
Let's get ready.
You ready?
Of course, I'm always ready.
All right.
Stay ready.
On behalf of Jazzy Conversations, I'm Teef.
And I'm Gigi.
Have a great night, guys. Take care.